Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. We encourage you to give us that 5-star review. Make sure you give us a little review because that always helps out the podcast. So do that for us, and we will appreciate it. Of course, that's on Spotify, Apple, wherever you do your potting. And of course, don't forget, you can always email us, BJ and Bill, the podcast. That again is BJ and Bill, the podcast at gmail.com. Make sure you write the word the, BJ and A-N-D, Bill, the podcast at gmail.com. And of course, you can find us on Facebook at the very same name. Hey, how about that? I did it. We welcome you to exit. Yeah, we welcome you to exit 134 because we had a guest, I guess, that exited.
Exit? Oh, like a highway exit.
I meant to say episode, but I said exit. So I just tried to roll with it so nobody would notice. And now you told the world that I messed it up.
I was listening. Of course, I was locked into the men's basketball all weekend. And literally last night, going to a commercial break, you know, they always try and have that exciting moment. We'll be back when there's this. Yeah. And the guy and I don't know who the announcer was, and I'm sure it'll be all over Twitter today. The guy completely reversed the score. It was like Tennessee was getting killed. And he's like, Tennessee ahead by 14. And I'm like, what? And I'm just thinking, what is the producer or the director yelling in his ear as the commercial is going on? But
he's saying it's too late now. I've already done it.
It's already out there. So good luck with that. So yeah. So anyway, I know nobody can see it except for you, BJ Odom. But here we are in Bill's brand new office. It's a real office now. It's a second bedroom of a 2-bedroom apartment. But it is my office, and I am so happy to be here. So thrilled. It is wonderful. And the sound is going to be a little better too because it's a carpeted room. And the window's in front of me, so I get some good light on me for recording the podcast and all. It's fabulous. Of course, the apartment still looks like a bomb went off in a Walmart somewhere, but everything is everywhere. But the furniture is all where it needs to be. The carpets are all down where they need to be. The kitchen cupboards have stuff in them. I don't know that it's in the right places, but it's a start. So yeah, it's close. I would say I'm 90% of the way there. I'm just doing the little stuff now. This goes here, this goes there, this goes here, this goes there. So you can see there's a bookcase behind me that's empty, no books. I got 4 boxes of books to put up and that sort of thing. So anyway.
Well, if I didn't have a wife, my bookcase would be completely empty. Looking just like that.
Yours would look just like, yeah, I know. I'm actually, I'm gonna trade in the book. I have another bookcase in the living room, and it looks really lame because I thought I would use it for like, little fun stuff, little knickknacks and stuff, but it looks lame. So I think today is going to be it's going to be like a Home Depot, Walmart run or something for some kind of like real live not cabinet, kind of a shelf unit kind of a thing, something cool. So anyway, got a little shopping still to do, but it's all good.
Well, my shopping is done. I have a door now to the right of me.
I saw you sent me a picture. It's a French door. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the final color, by the way? You sent me the picture and it's kind of like a beigey kind of a thing.
No, it's white.
It's white. Okay.
Yeah. And because it matches kind of like the trim in the wall.
Okay.
And that's kind of like, okay, we've lived here 2 years. We painted. Oh, let me correct myself. My wife has painted 1 room.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're not a big paint or, we're not, we usually we like to buy newer homes.
Sure.
And then we just let the walls stay white.
I'm okay with that. I haven't changed anything. Well, obviously I'm not going to paint anything in my apartment. I had 2 things I hung on the wall and I've got maybe one. I've got here in the office, I've got a cork board and a little whiteboard for writing myself notes on, and that's about it. That's all I'm doing. So
now my sister-in-law, not my sister-in-law from my brother, but my wife's brother.
Yes.
and sister-in-law. Well, I guess it's whatever, but it's still a sister-in-law to me.
Yes.
She like will go into a home and like she'll paint it'll, like the first 6 months,
Right.
she'll paint like every room before it's over with.
Wow.
She just
Yeah.
likes, I don't know if she likes it or she, doesn't like just the white color. In fact, this
In
is how
fact.
much I think she likes painting. In our old home in Fort Myers, I think she came over, her and her husband, and I think they ended up painting like 2 or 3 rooms for us. So
Okay.
I don't know what caused that. All of a sudden I walk in one day and there they are painting and I go, "What's going on?" "Oh, we're finally putting some color on one of your walls." But yeah,
Okay. Good for you. I mean, yeah.
you know what? I walk into the house is the house.
Yes.
I don't care if I walk into a blue room, a white room, a green room. It's
Some
just,
people I get it though. For some people that's important. I understand that. It's not for me. It's not, I mean, I like a little something on the wall, but just a picture or a something. I don't, whatever. I'm looking at some options now. So, but yeah, it's not like I have to like family photos or anything to hang up. I just don't have them. So,
oh,
you know,
don't even get started in this house. I don't care what wall you look at. There
I,
are pictures on the wall.
I well, if you were ever to see the video of BJ Odom doing his podcast, behind him, there's a BJ Odom poster. There's his publicity still back from comedy days. There's a couple of other photos about, and that's just what I can see in the camera
Yeah.
shot. So yeah,
Oh, there's pictures on that side. There's pictures
yep,
on that side. You
yep,
go out in the
yep,
hallway. Oh,
yep.
there's pictures right in front. Now, the pictures in front of me are really cool because I have like Taylor Swift.
Oh,
I
okay.
have Brad Paisley.
Oh, okay.
I have Jody Messina.
People you've met.
I have all sorts of, this is my country wall right here
Okay, cool.
from my days. And you know what? When we moved, and I'm probably an idiot for doing it because I'm like you. I want as few things as I can have. So we had a garage sale. I sold, I mean, it was a beautiful frame, beautiful pictures in it.
Mm-mm.
And it was the Dixie Chicks all signed, autographed.
Oh wow.
I sold that at a garage sale.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I get it. I understand that some stuff is very cool, but believe me, when you move, things the size and weight of things and the effort it takes to move them all of a sudden start to become a factor.
Yeah, because
It's like, do I
this
really need this?
this Dixie Chicks picture was probably, I mean, it wasn't just like a little promo picture like a lot
Right,
of my pictures I have on the wall that are,
right.
the artist and then they autograph it and
Sure.
and then you take it home. No, this was
A big display thing.
like a
Yeah.
poster
Yeah.
in a frame,
Yeah.
and it was like all their signatures.
Yeah. See,
And I should have probably been, oh,
I understand. I do, but again, trust me. I've been in the past week. I have literally, and all I did, I literally moved. It was 15-minute drive. That's all. It's a 15-minute drive from between my apartment. Maybe not even that much between apartments. And even that little exercise of packing everything up, putting it on the truck, moving it, not mo- you driving it across town. Of course, thank God I didn't have to do any of that. And then, but moving it up to the new apartment, of course, I helped with a lot of that, with carrying boxes and lamps and everything. And I was telling you before we started recording, this is the first day as we record this. It's on a Monday. Moving day was last Thursday and Friday. I spent the weekend organizing and putting away. I made the mistake of going and playing a little pickleball on Saturday to get a break. And my body is just like, what the hell are you doing? So today could be a do nothing day and be happy about it. Very happy. So yeah.
okay.
That's the only thing I got. And again, we were talking about this before we started recording, is I have to get a chair mat because my office chair was that. See, that's one of the beauties of the new apartment. Is the old apartment, the office, quote unquote, was the dining room, next to the kitchen because that's the only space I had. and it was on a hard tile floor. Well, now I'm in the second bedroom of my own, and I have my very own office, but it's a carpeted floor, and my wheeled chair ain't going nowhere. So when I stand up, I have to turn the chair, stand up, get out. So anyway, but it's all good. But I think today is going to be a chair mat day at Walmart. Yeah, for sure.
And then you go, oh, I can ride my bike. And I go, no, you don't want to ride your bike if you're going to pick up a floor.
Yeah, no, I'm not riding my bike to Walmart to buy a chair mat. No,
yeah,
I don't.
You're going to fly away like, the nun, the flying nun.
Yeah, the flying nun. I
What is
like
that,
those
Mom?
kite
Look,
surfer guys.
There's someone flying.
I'd be like a kite surfer guy. That would be awesome. No, it wouldn't be awesome. No.
It'd be awesome till you came down.
Right. Yeah, no. So it'll be the real thing today.
Get a big one.
A big one?
Yeah, when we was in our house, I had one of the spare bedrooms and it was carpeted.
Right.
And I first bought a little one. That was useless. You want a big.
Oh, because you roll off the sides of it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. That's a very good point. And thank you for that. I have to measure the desk underneath because there's feet under the desk there. So yeah, I was putting little carpet sliders under everything, and I got a whole bunch. Ordered some carpet sliders from Amazon, and I ordered myself a little coffee table for out on the porch because I had this giant glass top table at my old apartment, and my porch here at this new it has an outside porch, which I absolutely had to have, but it's about 3 feet narrower than the old one, and that big table would have never fit. So basically I just told all the neighbors that I knew at my old apartment. I said, when I leave, this table is going to be here. If you want it, take it. So I'm hoping that somebody scarfed it up and gave it a new home. So
what happens though if they went in after you moved?
If it's still there?
And they had a giant party.
Oh yeah.
Now the place is completely wrecked.
No. The table was outside. Thank you very much. The table was outside on the porch, so you can do with it whatever you want. Just clean up the mess. So I've turned in the keys. I've signed the paperwork. I've done everything. The apartment over there that I used to have no longer do. I don't care about it. So I did have to pay. Like I owed 3 days of rent or something like that because of the way the lease was timed. So, less than $100 or something like that. And
well, when I was up in Greenville, South Carolina, before we started the BJ and Bill show,
right?
When I moved back to Southwest Florida,
right.
I basically had a bed, a couch, a table, and a TV.
Mm-hmm.
I packed the bed because it was one of those futons, that was a couch.
Oh, yes.
Bed.
I had one of those.
And then also,
we had one of those.
It had a bunk bed. I mean, it had a bed above too. So it's pretty cool.
For your son.
So I tore it down and brought it back. And I also brought the TV. I think maybe I had a dresser.
Mm-hmm.
But when I moved up there, I had really, just my clothes.
Right.
So I basically got everything from Goodwill.
Yeah.
But I got this couch that was 1,000 pounds. And the table and the couch stayed there.
Uh-huh.
And I got a bill in the mail.
Oh,
saying,
disposing of it.
Yeah, they had to move it. And I'm going, I gave you a free couch. Why are you charging me? Forget about it. Hey.
Forget about it.
So yeah, that was no fun.
I hear that. Yeah. I had forgotten that you were in Greenville. Before I moved here, I was talking to our friend Vicky and her husband, Mr. Rick, and talking about moving and looking for a new place and just kind of wanting to try someplace new. And out of nowhere, Rick, Vicky's husband, says, "Oh, Greenville is nice." And I'm like, "Have you ever been there?" And he goes, "No, but I got friends there and I hear great things about it." And I'm like, I had forgotten you were in Greenville. Of course, that was 20 years ago, right? I mean,
yeah, more than that.
Yeah.
It's probably 25, 30 years ago.
So you could probably go there, like most towns that are growing, you could probably go there and not even recognize it.
Right.
Yeah, I get that.
I go back to Fort Myers and don't recognize it.
I was talking to one of my pickleball lady friends over the weekend, and she had spent some time in Naples. And she was like, I was there when it was a nice, quiet, sleepy little beach town. And I'm like, yeah, forget about it, honey. She goes, yeah, I know. So yes, all changed, all different, all different. So
Now, like I said, my son will need to go get something and I'll jump in the truck with him, and we'll take off and all of a sudden we'll be somewhere and I go, where the hell are we? I go, I do not recognize anything at all.
I know, I know. And that's a, I'm not going to say it's a problem, but it's part of modern life in a growing place that's actually growing and adding people in all of Florida. Of course, there's nowhere in Florida you can go that's not growing like crazy. Forget it. You're just not. There's
Now, let
nowhere
me
you can
ask you
go.
this though. Now, when you were in Greenville,
I
are they
wasn't in
talking?
Greenville.
I mean, but when he was talking about
He
Greenville,
was.
was he talking about Greenville, South Carolina or North Carolina? Because there are two.
Oh, I'm assuming South Carolina.
Because
Yes.
I think it's North, yeah, because I was in South Carolina.
Yeah.
North Carolina, there's a Greenville, but it's over by the ocean.
Yeah, no, this was definitely the one in the woods,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
mountains. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're probably 30 minutes to the Smoky Mountains from Greenville, South Carolina.
Right. Right. Right.
And
And we looked on the map and it would be like about 2.5, 3 hours to Blue Ridge if I wanted to go visit, Rick and Vicky over there in Blue Ridge. So yeah, it was, and I could do, what am I thinking? I could do something with mountains. I've been Florida for 30 years now. I could do something with mountains, just to try something different.
now I would like to move somewhere where there's mountains, like maybe the Smokies or Sevierville, where my good friend Paul Orr and
Yes.
Marky
Yes.
live.
We've
But
talked about that.
I just could not. I I
Take the winter.
can't take Orlando winners. I sure as hell would not be able to take, Tennessee winners
Right.
anymore.
Right.
I
And
told you the
I'm
story.
thinking that's the same. I'm thinking similar thoughts even about South Carolina. I'm like, I don't know if it snows there, but it's probably cold in the winter. So yeah.
Now, I will tell you this.
Mm.
I was there for the New Year's Eve celebration,
Hmm.
and I didn't even have a jacket on.
Mm.
Beautiful weather.
Nice.
But then, like 2 weeks later, we had 6 inches of snow. And with those mountains, no one went anywhere. Like, I remember when it started to snow, somebody said, you better go get bread and milk. And I go, why? Because there ain't going to be none when you get there. Like, yeah. And I went, it's okay because I got to, I'm got to make some sandwiches, got to, So I went to the
Right.
store. It was like you would have thought a hurricane or something was coming because there was nothing in the stores at all. I mean, it was just like, and
The
and
good
it
people
had-
of the
it
good
hadn't
people of
even
South Carolina were panicked
it
about the
hadn't even
coming storm.
snowed yet. We were just told that there was going to be 4 to 6 inches of snow.
That's awesome. That's funny and awesome. That's well, everybody has their own thing, and it's like, and for me who grew up and lived in Cleveland all those years, it's like, oh, 6 inches of snow, muck, slide, sludge, what? Who cares? Who
Yeah, but you
cares? I'm
ain't.
going to the store.
I've drove in snow. I know what it's like driving in snow, but you try driving in snow when you got going up and down, up and down, up and
I
down.
get it. Yeah, I get it.
You
It's
don't
it's
want to go nowhere in the snow when it
no,
snows and sleets and you have ice. You just don't want to leave the house because it's not safe. And
I
it's not
get it.
because there's a little snow. It's like you ain't going to stop because the hill's going down. You can push your brakes all you want. It's a
You're not
sled.
you're not sliding. You are sliding. I get it. Yeah, yeah, I get it. Especially you with your cool little electric car there. That might be an issue. All right, cool. So we've decided we're not going anywhere it snows anytime soon. I get it. That makes good sense. Yeah,
Yeah, I know I'm not. If I move anything, I'm going south.
I hear you. South. Where? Back to you're going back to Fort Myers. I
I'm
know.
going
I know.
back. At this point, I'm ready to go to Mexico.
That's not such a bad idea. I mean, like I've talked about my friend that spent the last winter down there and absolutely loved it, loved it. And I haven't talked to her in a while. I should see if she's going back this winter. But yeah, so it's cheap. It's if you get the right place, it's not too touristy. it might be a little. I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling like that would be a real place to live or not. I mean, if I spoke proper Spanish, good Spanish, that would be a different thing. But trying to be an American there, you just stick out like a sore thumb. I would
Yeah.
think. I would think. And that's just not cool. It just doesn't feel good for me, and it probably doesn't impress anybody there either. So I don't know. Whatever.
Maybe the islands.
I like Caribbean.
Yeah.
Why not just go to the Florida Keys?
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad either.
That
You know, I
wouldn't-
almost had a job one time in the Florida Keys.
You mentioned that, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I didn't get hired because they said, "Oh, you won't be here very long."
Well,
And I go,
nobody's
"How do you
there very
know?
long.
How do you know I won't be here very long?" He said,
Yeah,
"He says you're just because I was in between jobs. I'd been let go from
okay.
somewhere,
Yeah,
and so I went down there and did the interview, and I knew the program director, and the program director wanted to hire me, but the general manager said, "No, you can't hire that guy." And he said, "Why not? He's a great guy. Well, he works hard. He'll do good.
yeah, yeah.
No, he'll be here about 6 months and he'll be gone."
I don't. I would think that would probably be most people. I mean, I don't really see the Keys as a place to like park and raise a family and stay forever. But
But I know 3 people that has moved to the Keys,
yes,
and none of the 3 that I know, I mean, I personally knew and said, okay, well, one of them was the program director that was trying to give me the job.
right.
3 people, and all 3 have, and I'm talking at least 4 or 5 years, and some even more than that, like 10, 15, 20 years. One of them recently passed away, which the jazz guy, who's the
Bill.
no, not Bill. Oh, what was his name? He was a big jazz guy.
Oh, yeah, Chuck.
Chuck. Yeah, Chuck.
I forget his name, but yes, an old. Remember, we had him on the show once or twice. Not Chuck. We had my old friend. Well, he went by a whole bunch of different names, but he and I were in the computer business, not together, but we had a similar computer practice together. But he did some jazz shows. He was a big musical fan, and he went by the name Torrey Pines, which is a golf course in California. But he went by Torrey Pines when he was on the jazz station. And he actually sent me a Facebook message that Chuck had died. And I'm sorry, Chuck, I forget your name.
Chuck Rothenberg.
Well, that was it. Yeah, that's not what he went by on the air, but yeah. But yes.
Yeah, but his real name is Chuck Rothenberg.
You're right. You're right.
And then also Rhino, which is Mark, who used to work at K-Rock. He moved down there.
Really?
And then also someone else that we worked with when we both worked over in the Wink building.
Right.
Remember Tiny?
Tiny, and he wasn't very tiny.
He's been down there for at least 5 years now.
Really?
And I'll bet Chuck has been down there. Of course, like you said, he recently passed.
Right.
He's been down there for 30 years, and Rhino's been down there for about 20 years or more.
So there you go. So people are actually down there. Yes,
and they
I
stay.
get it. Okay.
I think it's a way of life. I mean, it's a lifestyle you'd have to enjoy and learn because, it is like a lot of people down there don't even have cars.
No.
They have either bicycles or mopeds.
Right. Nowadays, and I've thought about that now being so close to Walmart here, and I'm close to Walmart, I'm close to Whole Foods, I'm close to Trader Joe's. I'm thinking electric bike.
That'd be cool.
So anyway, but to finish that story about the Keys, yes, I guess a lot of folks have. Me personally, I could see doing that. I mean, I could see living in a place where I walk to the grocery store and I just hang out on the beach and, I could, go fishing, go scuba diving a lot. I love that. I love that idea. Yeah, Bill could do that. I'm not sure it's for everybody.
I could do it when I was younger and wasn't afraid to die and needed to be close to the hospital.
I'm sorry.
Because really the hospital down there.
Yes,
the hospital
I get it.
down there
I
would
do.
be like being, in a tiny town that.
I get it. Yes. Yes.
Because you have to be, and Key West is a location where you have to be going to Key West. It's not like you could be almost anywhere else, in the United States or the world or whatever. And let's say you're in radio, because I know one of the big things, whenever I was in radio, I said, yeah, but just think of all the people that come to Southwest Florida to vacation, they could hear me on the radio.
Oh,
Kind of
yeah,
like,
I
in the
suppose,
back of my
yeah.
mind. But
Right.
when you're in Key West, it's like people aren't driving like from Tampa to Fort Myers over to Miami or something. They're there because they're there. There's nobody driving through
Right.
Key
Right.
West.
I get it. Yeah, it's not a pass-through place. It is a destination. Once you get there, you're there. That's
Yeah.
where you want to end up.
Yeah.
Kind of like I'm thinking like Marco Island, like down in Collier County, way down there too. Same thing. You don't
Yeah,
get
that'd
there
be-
by mistake.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
if now when I what now see I will admit now I can admit to the general manager who wouldn't hire me
Who wouldn't hire you?
probably because my wife was not that hip about moving down there.
Ah,
And she goes, I want you to move down there for the first, that's kind of like Greenville. She goes, I want you to move there for the first 6 months to a year to make sure you like it. Cause I know how you radio people are. You will take off. So I was in-
interesting.
so I was in
Interesting that you
Greenville.
would do that. I get it. I get it.
And she was the same thing when I was talking to the folks
Right.
in the Keys. She goes,
Right.
okay, you're going to go down there yourself for the first 6 months to a year to see if you like it. And then if you want to go, oh, I don't like it down here, I want to move, then I'll know that, well, I'm glad I didn't move. I kept my house.
Oh, well, see, there you go. See, that explains it all right there. She, and I'm not, again, there's nothing wrong with that. She has a house. She's invested her time and her effort into making it the home that she wants and all that. I don't have that. I don't. By the way, I've been slaving away behind the scenes here. You've been watching me kind of type a little bit. I brought up Facebook Messenger. Our old friend was Chuck Thomas. He went by.
Oh, okay.
From WDRR, from the jazz station in Fort Myers. Yes, he passed on Feb 28th. Well, Chuck, rest in
Now,
peace.
what was really funny, I know him and Mark worked at the same radio station, Rhino,
Yes.
and he was in a really bad accident, like the same
one?
week. Rhino,
Oh, okay.
and it's still pretty touch and go. He was on a moped, and a couple people were racing through the streets of
Great.
West. Yeah, and I almost said West Palm, but the Keys,
Key West. Wow.
and hit him,
Oh, man.
and he was air vac'd to Miami.
Wow.
And he is still there. And it was touch and go for a long time.
Wow.
And I'm kind of following him a little bit on Facebook. And the last review was he was maybe getting ready to go into, rehab.
Wow.
But, he got it. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt he should be calling, Morgan and Morgan or one of these guys because he's going to have a big payday because they did catch the people supposedly that
Oh, wow.
hit him. So
Yeah.
he's probably got, but I don't know how messed up he's going to be, unfortunately, but he's definitely going to have a big payday, I would say.
Well, he's going to have a big hospital bill, so he'll need it. But yes, I hear that. I definitely hear that. Is it the same where you're at there in Claremont, Orlando, your TV station? It seems like I remember when we were young and we were in Fort Myers, I remember saying to you at one point, if it weren't for car dealers, there'd be no local television. Because every commercial was a car dealer commercial in Fort Myers. That was 25, 30 years ago. Here in Gainesville, every commercial is a lawyer commercial.
Same here.
Oh my God. I don't get it. I do get it. There's a lot of money to be made. I get it. If you're a lawyer and you're suing somebody for millions and millions and millions and your cut is 40% or whatever it is, you don't need many clients to pay for that TV campaign. I get it. But we have a couple of local guys that, were UF graduates and stuff like that. There's one guy who's really involved in the community. And if I needed a lawyer, and, knock on wood, I don't need a lawyer at the moment. But if I did, I would call the local guy because he seems cool. He's like, whatever. But yeah, Morgan and Morgan, you mentioned, they have a giant office downtown and all the other big places. And it's like, oh my God, sometimes back to back to back lawyer commercials on TV. It just drives me nuts.
And
But
I do believe at this point in time, but I could be wrong.
could be wrong.
But I think Morgan and Morgan has it branched out into other, I know they've branched out into other states. But I think they have offices now in all 50 states.
Well, they do advertise themselves as like the biggest personal injury law firm, don't they? I think in the country or something.
I think they may, yeah.
I'm not up on my lawyering thank God. So, but yeah, they're big. They're really big. I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar business, and not in a good way. Not,
Yeah, you know what? I mean, they don't really bait people. I mean, someone like my friend who got, critically injured in an accident, I
sure,
believe, yes, they should get. But I
sure,
mean, they do all these commercials like, hey, I'm Billy Bob, and the lawyer XX2 got me $10 million. And they throw that out there, time after time. So anybody even gets a bump on their head, like I remember when I was young.
right,
I was in a couple accidents. Nobody sued anybody. I mean, of
right,
course, nobody had major injuries.
right.
But nowadays, you get a fender bender, and
Uh-huh.
and then
It's
you have a lawyer tells you to go to therapy and do all this stuff, and okay, we won't charge you if we don't win, and they go in, and
right.
that's why your insurance bills are so high, people.
Yes, yes, they are. And I watch those commercials, and two words ring in my mind really loud, and that is lottery ticket.
Yeah,
It's just like a lottery. It's just like winning the lottery for for people. Again, I don't write to the show. Do not call and bitch at us that we are talking down about people who have real needs. I get it. But the fact that you advertise it in such a way that, like, just like you said, anything goes wrong, whatever, you're going to sue somebody and make 10 million bucks. Well, no. Here's the thing I think that some people don't quite understand, and that is they all say, all these lawyers, and it's true, by the way, it's totally true. If you don't win, you don't pay.
yeah,
I get it. But guess what that means? They're not taking your case if they don't think they can win it. And if you
yeah,
have some lame case, not lame, if you have some sketchy case that's maybe this happened, maybe it happened this way, whatever, nobody's taking your case. They're not taking your case on a maybe. They're taking the ones they know they can win. For the most part.
yeah. Every once in a while they'll
They
take.
might.
Plus. Well, I don't want to get into it because I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
know.
for sure.
That's a
Yeah,
deep dark hole, and I don't want to go
yeah.
down.
Yeah, let's just take a break here and come right
Okay.
back. How about we do that?
I think that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Before we get sued for something.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah, just kidding, kidding. All right, everybody, go refill your coffee. We will be right back. Welcome back. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast. As we said at the top, if you are enjoying what you hear, if you just like the idea of listening to two old men rant about just about anything, leave that 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music. We're everywhere. That is cool. We are everywhere. And you can leave that 5-star review wherever you choose. If you want to, you can visit us on our Facebook page. Just do a search for BJ and Bill Podcast. And you can leave your jokes, your pictures, your memories, whatever there. We'd appreciate it. But the review's the important part. Go do that. Go do that now. Well, not
Yeah,
now.
do
When
that,
you're done
dang on
listening
it.
to the show.
We'll appreciate it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
I have to mention that because we're on the podcast playground, and they're picking up a brand new podcast, and I thought I would promote it because, well, did you ever work with Rick Peterson? I know I have at a couple stations actually.
the name is familiar, but I don't think so.
He was like Mr. Production guy in Southwest Florida, Fort Myers. He did all the radio, half the TV commercials,
Oh, okay.
and that Rick Peterson voice. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
one of that voice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, he had, and he does national spots and everything.
Right.
And he's doing a new podcast on the podcast playground called Always Wondered.
Interesting. I like the name.
And it's just about little stupid things like, why is this? Spill the beans. Nobody really spills beans. That means you're, telling information, you're
Right.
spreading
Oh,
gossip.
in other words, why things mean what they mean?
Yeah. How did it get its name?
That's cool.
And if you know Rick Peterson, he is a production whiz.
Mm-hmm.
So I would suggest that you look up always wondered,
Mm-hmm.
the podcast,
On the podcast playground.
and click on because, we did it with ours. You did it
Right.
with, your second one, mine, the
Right,
second one.
right,
We
right.
always write these little promos or these little,
Yes.
trailers to, get people excited before it comes out. You need to just hear his trailer.
Oh, okay. It's
'Cause-
already out.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. So if I go to Apple Podcasts, which I'm doing now, and if I put in what is it? Always wondered.
Always wondered. Yes. Always wondered.
Always wondered. Always wondered show podcast playground. There it is. It's kind of a big. It's a big question mark of a logo.
Yeah.
Always wondered, a podcast that takes a lighthearted look at everyday life's little mysteries. Have you ever wondered who came up with the idea for mouthwash? Or who invented the slinky? Or why do we bless someone where they sneeze? All good questions. Why are there dimples on golf balls? I know why there are dimples on golf balls. It makes them fly straighter. That I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think I heard that. Yeah. Who came up with the phrase "heard it through the grapevine"? I thought that was the four tops or four.
No, not the Four Tops. It was Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye. Yeah. Oh, I hear heard it through. All I see is the raisins, the dancing raisins. I'm setting the time machine there.
Now, as a radio guy, what you need to do when we get off the podcast,
Yes,
you need to play that.
I could
Because
play it right here, but it probably wouldn't sound very good.
The production value
Okay.
on his little trailer puts all of the other folks that are doing a podcast on the podcast playground to shame.
I understand.
So I know this podcast, and this is basically just for radio people that might be listening.
Right,
I mean,
right.
yeah, but it's going to be, zips and zaps and sound effects. It is produced so well. It makes me ashamed of my two little podcasts.
I understand.
That's how well it is produced. Just the
Good.
trailer, not even, well, he hadn't even got to the show yet, but that's all he's done his entire life.
Yes.
Radio, television,
Yes.
national spots. He's a voice guy,
Right.
and he's one of the best in the business. And this podcast is just going to be, just to listen to it is going to be fun.
Is
Not
he
even
gonna-
just,
Is he going to be able to do it every week?
I think so,
Right.
because I don't think he ever makes a commercial that's just, talking as Rick Peterson.
Right. I
the
know
entire
that.
way. There's always some
Something.
twist and I mean, he's a great writer.
Yep.
He's a great production man. I mean, he'll use production elements, I know,
Yes.
and you'll just sit there, even if you don't even like the topic, you're going, "Oh my God, that just sounds so good."
It holds your interest. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. Well, I look forward to giving it a listen when we're done. I will check that out for sure. So anyway, the trailer is out there on Apple Podcasts because that's what I was just looking at. So again, it's a kind of a bluish logo with a big white question mark and a smiley face on it. So there
Yeah.
you
Well,
go.
you don't really see the smiley face; you see the eyes looking up.
Yeah, you see the eyes looking up to the question mark. So there you go. All good. Check it out.
I already he put it up on Facebook, and I congratulated him and said, "Can't wait to hear it, man." And I can't. I think he's going to do an awesome job.
I have you heard the new? This is how much podcasting is a thing. Have you heard the State Farm insurance commercials with Justin Bateman?
Oh yeah, those are great.
Where Batman, the real Batman, looks at him and goes, go home, Bateman, do a podcast or something." And Bateman goes, "That's hurtful." I'm like, yeah, well, everybody does a podcast
I
now.
also like it when he goes, "I got one word for you." The guy that's all like mangled
Yeah,
and everything.
I got one word, and it's a long one.
Dermatologist.
Dermatologist. That is clever. I get it. That's clever. So I'm wondering now if, like, somewhere some ad agency who has the State Farm account is like, okay, we've pretty much run the course of like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. We've done it with everybody and everything and every so do we need? Is this their change now? Are we seeing the morphing of their advertising into something new and different, or was just this something for fun that they did? I don't. Why you do the Batman
now
Bateman thing? I don't know.
Yeah, Bateman soon will be, getting, beat up or something. Go, "Oh, I need Superman. boom. Hey, somebody call me, doing
Like
the
a good
old.
neighbor, State Farm is there. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They'll probably have a way to integrate it somehow into that. But yeah, that's crazy talk. So
Something we haven't talked about yet that I know
mm,
Bill has been in front of his, even while he was moving, he has been in front of his TV like a hawk. That's the NCAA tournament, which is going on, which, everybody calls,
yep.
everybody gets excited, especially when it gets to the
March Madness.
Sweet 16, then the Elite Eight, and now it's down to the Final
Final
Four.
Four.
And if anybody has brackets, and you are one of those guys that just go, I don't know nothing about basketball. I'm just going to go for the number one team.
I'm just gonna pick favorites.
I'm just going to go with the favorites. And you pick number one from the East. You pick number one from the West, number one from the South, number one from the North. And now we're down to the Final Four. And by golly, your bracket has not been broken yet.
Well, that's not possible. I mean, I hear what you're saying. You could have picked all four favorites, but somewhere along the line, there's been an upset. Because I
Not
remember
when it comes to the number ones.
that's correct. That's correct. So, but after the first round of 64, they even said like out of the 100 million brackets that are been like 3 of them are perfect, or something like that. I mean, that's how fast it whittles it down. But you're right. If you picked favorites, congratulations.
Yeah, because if you're in some kind of poll where you're going to make some kind of money, if you get you're down to the Final Four, and if you just pick the number one teams and the 4 number one teams in each of the tournaments, you are home free, my friend.
That's it. So yes, it's needless to say, it has been quite a happy weekend here in Gainesville, home of the Gators. We were gonna, after pickleball Saturday, we made sure we were done in time for the game to start at 6:00. And some of the people in the pickleball group were going to go and try and find a sports bar where they could get something to them to eat and a beer and watch the game. And I went home. I came home because I still had the wreck of an apartment, and all that. So I put the game on and I ordered a pizza and all that. And while I organized, but I'm watching the text messages go back and forth on our little texting group of like, oh, there's nobody, there's no seats here. Oh, the parking lot's full here. Oh, you can't get in here. I'm like, yeah, right. You thought you were just going to walk into a sports bar in Gainesville and get a place to see. So yes. So for those of you who are paying attention, yes, the number one seed, Florida Gators. Yeah, nice. Houston Cougars from the South. Actually, Florida was the number one seed in the West, and why that happened, I have no idea. So, but it's Florida, Houston, Duke Blue Devils, and Auburn. For those of you who are basketball fans, Sir Charles Barkley has been beside himself because he's an Auburn grad. So, and you were asking me the other day. You said, well, you didn't ask. You said, "Boy, I'll bet that's not happened ever before." And the answer is 2008. 2008 was the last Final Four where all 4 number one seeds were there. Kansas, Memphis, North Carolina, UCLA were all the Final Four teams, and they were the number one. So there you go.
Now, and I believe, and I would love to see the Gators win. That's my
Absolutely
number one.
positive.
That's my number one pick. But
Absolutely.
aren't they playing Tennessee?
No,
Are they playing?
No, Tennessee lost.
Oh, Tennessee
lost.
Oh, I thought they won. Oh, well, then forget it then.
Yeah,
they're
fine.
They're shoo-in now.
They're let's see. Now that I don't. All right, who are they?
Maybe they play Duke.
I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Because I was thinking when I was looking it over, I was saying whoever wins that game is going to win the whole thing.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, and I'm
maybe
trying
they were playing Duke.
Nope. Florida plays Auburn. At 6:00, 6:09 on Saturday, April 5. This is in San Antonio. So, but anyway, that's Eastern time, 6:09 p.m. Eastern time. Florida against Auburn, and then Duke, Houston, with the championship game Monday night. I like our chances against Auburn. I really do. I think Duke beats Houston. Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure that somebody already called a championship, and it might have been Shaq. Might have been Shaq that called Florida Duke in the championship. So I'm going to have to look that up for our friend for the Shaq Fu Radio blog there.
Now, have you been following his son, who is now going to the portal again, which I love Shaq.
Yep.
And, he says his kids do their own thing.
Yep.
They have to go make their own money. They have to make their own deals.
Yes.
He will help them if they need a little help, but not money wise. Their deals are their deals.
Yes.
And he's decided now he's going to go into his junior year, and this will be his second or third. Yeah, this will be his third, I think, portal. He's been in the portal every year, freshman and sophomore. So yeah, this will be his second portal.
Yeah.
So he's going in the portal, going into his junior year. I just don't like the portal.
Yeah, no, I don't. Again, we love Shaq. We love the kids. We love all that. He didn't really look like NBA material to me. He's good, obviously. He wouldn't be in the portal if he wasn't good. But he's okay. He's okay. He's not great. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I know that he was working with his father at Reebok, because Dad's now president of basketball or sports or whatever at Reebok and turning stuff out. That to me sounds like a better deal. I like that. I like that gig better than trying to make a trying to make a team, an NBA team. So that's just my opinion. What do I know?
Then the Bronny, Stephen A. And that's becoming interesting.
Bronny James.
Now let me ask you this, because I know you do follow sports, and I follow Stephen A. because I just think he's a great broadcaster, because controversy wins out 90% of the time.
Yes, it does.
And of course, he's got this thing going on with LeBron and talking about Bronny, and they almost came to blows the other night.
Yeah,
and now
yes, they did. Yeah,
I thought I was watching the World Wrestling Federation. If you really want to know.
I hear you.
But, that's generating a lot of publicity, as they say.
You don't mess with somebody's kids.
But do you think some of it is hype, or do you think they're really ready to battle?
I think some of it is hype. If you're Stephen A. Smith, the more you can do to get your name out there and have people quoting you and have people putting you into their stories, that's good for your career. So I get that. LeBron, he doesn't have that much. For folks who don't know what we're talking about, Stephen A. Smith, sports commentator, has said some not so kind things about LeBron James's son, Bronny, in his career in the NBA. He's actually with the Lakers, again, not he's okay.
And he says, and here Stephen A. says the only reason he's with the Lakers is because of his dad. And so that's what really started the whole.
I'm gonna put my life in jeopardy and say I agree with that. I don't think LeBron's coming to find me, so I'm okay there. But yes, LeBron wanted so bad for it to be to have the father and son play in a game at the same and he did it. He pulled. They father and son, they made it happen. Awesome, great. When LeBron retires, maybe that's this year, maybe next, who knows? The son is not. He's getting cut. He's not. Again, he's okay. He's okay.
Well, that's like Sharif is in the G League.
Exactly.
And that's where Bronny needs to be probably. Is down
Absolutely.
in the G League.
He's got to learn some. Again, could they be good? Yes. Are they now? No. Just my opinion.
I'll really throw a curveball into this whole conversation. Congratulations to the Osceola Magic. They're going to the playoffs.
Who the heck is the Osceola Magic?
That is the Magic, the Orlando Magic's G team.
I see. And they play in Osceola County.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been to one of their games, but that's when they were in Lakeland. Now they're in. Now, if you've ever been to Kissimmee and you've been to the big rodeo arena,
of course,
that's where they're playing now.
I haven't been to the rodeo arena.
I want to go really bad because this arena. It's a nice arena and it's like almost like a fairground atmosphere. They don't have rides, but every once in a while they do, and they have big music festivals there. So they got a cool place where they're having it. Where it used to be in Lakeland.
Okay,
I've been to a few games in Lakeland. Haven't been to one in Osceola yet since they moved to Osceola.
Wow.
But, I'd I'd like to go check it out though.
That's awesome. That's really great. Okay, well, good. You report back on that. I had occasional dreams of maybe going to a Gator basketball game this year. Yeah, no, that's not happening. You can't get those tickets. Good luck.
Now
I
I
mean,
know
football tickets, forget about it. Basketball tickets, maybe, but not this year.
my son's been to a few football games up in Gainesville, and
Uh-huh.
you know, because he likes basketball. Yeah, hell, they play basketball once or twice a week in my son's driveway, and I mean, it's like I don't know where they come from, but they have like a specific day
Oh,
at a specific time.
then everybody shows up.
Everybody shows up, and I mean, you can go out in his drive. There's like you would think there was a sports complex going on there. I mean, there's just cars everywhere,
Awesome.
and they're playing basketball, you know, out on blacktop.
The driveway, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and you know they're playing hard, and when they go down, you're not going down on a wood floor. You're going down on asphalt.
Yeah.
So if you go ass first,
Ass first on
you
asphalt.
burn your ass, man.
Is it, did he, I mean, has he gone all out? Does he have like, did he paint it? Is it got struck?
No, it's not painting everything.
No, nothing.
No.
It's just blacktop. It's just, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, he gets probably
But they're
10,
serious, huh?
yeah, and
Yeah.
they're not just. In fact, there's a couple guys out. Yeah, I'm not playing with your son. He goes, they're out for blood. They're just not out there for a good time.
Right,
They're out there
right.
to win.
Right.
But
We
my
have,
son's always.
we have
he's
a
always
couple
been-
of people like that who play pickleball with us. It's like a couple of there's a couple of people that are like, they're freaking serious.
Yeah, that's the way these guys are.
Yeah. 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 We
And,
try and discourage that. We have mostly little old folks playing pickleball. So.
You know what? Though I'd probably kill myself the first time because we have beautiful courts. I need just need to go down there with the wife and
Just go. Just
We need to
go
get a couple paddles
and just go and watch to see how it's done for a while. And yeah, it's not honestly, it's super simple to learn. It's like ping pong, except you have to run to hit the ball a little bit. It's like because it's a bigger ping pong paddle. It's a bigger ball than a ping pong ball, but it's basically the same thing. It's like you hit the ball back and forth, and then somebody misses it, or somebody whacks it and it goes out. Okay,
Well,
great.
now that was a long time ago. Probably maybe even before my heart transplant or maybe right after the heart transplant. Now in our old community, we had tennis courts.
Yes.
And we tried, the wife and I went over there a couple times, bought some rackets and everything. Oh, let's learn tennis.
Yeah.
I think we went over there like 2 or 3 times. And basically what it was, I hit it, then you go chase it. She hits it, then I go chase it. Then we find that hey, this game's not for us.
Yeah.
But
no.
I have watched a little pickleball, and
Yeah.
it does seem to be a little easier than regular.
I think bunches easier because I mean you can play it at a very high level, and if you've watched TV, I mean like there's pickleball tournaments out there now with professional leagues and teams and everything. That's how fast the sport has grown. But again, like we have our group originally started as a senior citizens group, as a 55 plus. Now we have some young people that come because they know we play on Monday and Wednesday nights, and that's fine. But it's, a lot of little old ladies, oh, this is my first time. Can I try? Yeah, sure. We're happy to let you play.
Okay, I love having this door. That means my wife probably hears nothing that I say.
Oh, do you have something to add now that's going to get you in trouble?
Probably.
Yeah.
Um,
Well said, Mr. Morgan.
maybe I'm going to need to call them after
Yeah.
this.
I know. Go ahead.
Okay, let's just. I'm going to ask you the question, and you tell me what the proper answer is for me.
For you.
So there's a couple that we know in the neighborhood. I think I've even talked about this. He's had some health problems with his heart,
Right.
but things are going pretty good now.
Right.
But my wife goes every week, and that's not pickleball. They play cornhole.
Yeah, that's a lot easier.
Yeah. So she goes down to the cornhole, which is pickleball courts, but one night it becomes cornhole instead of pickleball.
No
And I
problem.
mean, half the neighborhood is down there.
Sure. Well, you can probably bring an adult beverage and a lawn chair.
Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my wife is like the sub, where if, he feels wobbly or he
Oh, okay.
feels sick in the middle of the match,
She's the designated hitter there.
yeah, she will jump in and take over. So she goes every week and she's been bugging me to go. I go, okay, if it was an exciting game, I would be there and I would watch and I would go, okay, this is cool. But I'm not going to go take my lawn chair and watch people play cornhole. I'm sorry. There is just not enough action going on the field for me to find this exciting.
I get it. I do.
And she goes, but you can go down there and you meet some of your neighbors. You meet different people. You have a night out. You get to know you. I was like, yeah, it's still boring.
Yeah, I understand.
I go, maybe, and I know I'd be lousy at it. I will admit that, starting out right from the get-go.
Well, yeah, nobody's good from the start, sure.
But if I was to go, I would at least want to play. I wouldn't want to sit there for 2 or 3 hours watching people throw at a hole.
They'll throw bean bags.
Yeah.
I get it. I do. Yeah. Because we do that because we'll have, if we have enough people, like, maybe we get 10 or 12 people to show up on a month. So we put up 2 nets. That means 8 people are playing at a time. That means 3, 4, 5, whatever, are sitting and kibitzing on the sideline and, just cheering and oohing and eyeing. And of course, we're on county parks, so there's no adult beverages, unfortunately. But yeah, it's kind of fun. It's even when you're sitting, but yes, one court empties out. Okay, now you get to play, and then they sit, and then it's so. Yeah, I get that. I wouldn't just go just to sit and watch. No.
Now, I will admit this. I went with her last week because they had a food truck. But I got my food, and I said, "Okay, I'll see you at home. I'm going to go home, watch something good on TV."
Didn't even stay. Boy, that's lame. That's lame.
I'll bet our friends just think I'm the biggest lowlife that ever walked on.
Pretty much.
It's like, I'm not
we actually have 2 neighborhoods, two areas, two city blocks that are set aside for food trucks here. I haven't tried that yet, but they get a good business. Yeah.
The only problem, I only have one. I mean, and it's not a big problem because a lot of food trucks, they are. I mean, do a good job.
Oh yeah, very fancy. You bet.
But like we'll go down because in our neighborhood, like I said, we live in a 55 plus community.
Yes.
All senior citizens,
Yes.
we're here in heaven's waiting room. And so we will like go down there to the food trucks, but basically the food trucks, of course, we're not leaving the neighborhood, which makes it nice.
Right.
But I could go down to Applebee's. And the only reason I say Applebee's, we got to see him Saturday night. That was a good show. The guy that gets like Applebee's, I don't know the Applebee's song.
Okay, whatever.
Hunter Walker, or no, Walker Hayes. I mean,
Hunter Hayes. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'll take your word for it.
Okay, yeah, he had a big hit song that was just everywhere, and it was so funny because that's like his song.
Applebee's.
Yeah, well, it's about Applebee's. It's a good song. And
okay.
I bet he said this 5 times during the show. All right, you people, I know you came for the Applebee's song, but you just sat there. I got a few more to go. I don't want to bust your bubbles or nothing, but it's the last song.
Right.
Because I know if I did it like the second or third song, y'all just get up and leave after I did it. So just hang on a few more, and then he'd sing a few more songs.
We know show business. You got to finish with the big. You got to finish with the big number.
Nope, It's not yet. Not yet. It's coming yet. Don't go nowhere.
That's
and
funny.
he played that up so because it is. It was like, he's had a couple mediocre hits, but the Applebee's song was just his monster, and it got to number 1. I think it was on 2 or 3 charts. So
wow, good for him.
So he saw him. That's why I said Applebee's.
Okay, all right.
But it would be just as cheap to go to Applebee's.
Oh, of course it would.
Go to the food truck, if not cheaper.
Of course. Yeah. What are you getting at Applebee's, though? Come on. You're getting.
What do they call them? Riblets. Riblets. What the hell are riblets? You know what the riblets are? They might not even have them anymore, but I remember back in the day that I would. What do you want? I want some of them riblets. And then I'd even say, what are they? Well, I don't know. They're, I guess, ribs, some kind. I go, yeah, but what are I don't know.
I don't know. It's like a McRib. Really?
Yeah, but they got it on bone, so it's got to be something. I would think, well, they didn't make it, and then we got these bones. Let's put this meat and wrap it around these bones. We'll call it a riblet.
This is here's the callback. This is a question for your buddy's new podcast. Always wondered how you make riblets. You need to call him and get on that case right now. Inquiring minds want to know.
Rick Peterson, find out what riblets are made of.
Hello? I mean, we all know chicken nuggets are barely chicken, right? I mean, it's probably they process the whole bird. They just throw the whole bird in the grinder. And
here's my joke, and you've seen my act many a times.
Yes.
One of my big jokes since I've had the heart and the kidney transplant, I go out there and I go, of course now it's 22 years, but when I was doing comedy, hey, like 15 years ago, I had a heart transplant. 5 years, I had a kidney transplant. I got more parts than a chicken McNugget.
That's it.
That was my joke. Worked every time. That was my opener.
Worked every time. Killed it every time. There you go. More parts than a chicken nugget. All right. Perfect timing. Look at that. You finished right at the top of the hour, right at 1 hour. So you pulled out the Applebee's song right when you needed it, right at the end.
Yeah, right there.
There you go. Perfect.
Man, but yeah, and that's what I think I kept calling him Walker Hayes, and it's Hunter Hayes.
Hunter Hayes. You could have told me any name and it wouldn't have mattered because I've never heard of the man. So that's okay.
Yeah, it was a country hit, but he's kind of a country rap artist, which is weird, but he was very entertaining. I did enjoy him. I will say that. I thought, I went like most people, I want to hear the Applebee's song.
Right.
I bet you he can go walk into an Applebee's anywhere in the country and get, free food.
His money is going to never be any good at an Applebee's. Now
listen to this. I'm going to tell you one last story.
Okay.
And then we're going to get out of here.
Okay.
So he was talking about his Applebee's song. And he said, because it was it was huge. It was like a guy came out of nowhere, had this huge song.
Okay.
It was right after his dad died. And he talked about how proud his dad would probably be. And he said, I went to the Grammys. And I go, this is going to be a Grammy winning song. It's huge. Everybody listens. He goes, and guess what? I didn't win the Grammy. And he goes, I was so upset. I went to TGI Fridays afterwards instead of Applebee's.
Really? You'd have thought that if Applebee's could have, stoked the fire a little, could have, paid off a few people or something. I'm not saying BJ and Bill ever did anything similar like that with Mel's Diner to help us get radio station of the year or morning show of the year. I'm not saying anything like that would ever happen. Boy, there's a throwback to 25 years ago. So,
I wonder where that's something that I may have gotten rid of in the move.
What's that?
Our plaques.
Wow. No.
Morning show of the year and radio station of the year.
You must have had those because I never had one of those. I never had. I still have the drawing that Doug McGregor did of us. And I have to put that up. In fact, wait a minute. Well, I'd show it to you because it's right back there, parked on the floor. So, but I still have that. That's going to go up somewhere in here.
I reached out to Doug this week, but he hasn't gotten back to me yet because somebody said, and I do remember the story now, that he gave a kidney to a friend of his.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
Sounds
like a guest for Gift of Life to me.
I know, and I reached out to him, but I haven't heard back from him. Maybe he doesn't do Facebook anymore.
Oh, maybe. Who knows? Is he still doing the editorial cartoon thing? I doubt it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I doubt it. He's our age. He's probably long since retired.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in years. I think the last time he was playing music in a little local group that was, playing his harmonica and a little guitar.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Doug McGregor, if you're listening, give us a call. Shout out. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this week. Boy, the hour flew by, and I knew it would because we had plenty to talk about. So there you go.
Good thing we didn't have Christina.
What's that?
Good thing we didn't have Christina today.
Right? We would have run out of stuff to talk about. So hopefully next week, then, we do the... now, important question. Do you want to wait and record the podcast on Tuesday because then we'll know who the national champion is for the basketball tournament, or do we care?
We can wait till Tuesday.
All right, we'll talk about
But
it.
now I have to get a hold of Christina and say, okay, we changed days again. So.
Right, and I will have to change the time with Miss Vicky because normally she and I record the Practical Path podcast at Tuesday mornings as well. But we'll figure all that out. We'll talk this week sometime.
Okay.
All right, brother. Have a good week. And everybody else, you have a great week out there. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you next week. But until then, just up to BJ Odom to say,
see ya.
Flip the dial, take a ride back in time when the airways were golden and the DJ shined. 2 mics, 2 guys, and a whole lot of laughs. Living like legends, bringing stories back. No script, no rules, just telling it all. From theme park tales to a pickleball call. If you love a good yarn and a joke or two, BJ and Bill got the show